A woman that uses a lot of profanity is very unattractive. Don't shoot the messenger.
Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Whatever state you're in is going to come out of your mouth. For example, not to say that you are a curse, but if you're walking under a curse, you will curse. In other words, you will speak a lot of profanity.
A woman can dress perfectly, hair done, nails done, put together from head to toe. Yet the moment she opens her mouth, everything changes. Because vulgarity is not just a habit. It is a sign of something deeper. And most women have never been told what that is. If you use profanity, or you used to, this video is for you. And if you have a daughter, a niece, or a young woman in your life, this is especially for you. Because what comes out of our mouths is being watched and recorded by someone, whether we know it or not. The Bible calls it a root of bitterness. And what grows from a bitter root does not stay hidden forever. It shows up in your words, your tone, and the way you carry yourself when you think no one important is watching. But the most important one is always watching. Today we're going to look at where vulgarity actually comes from, why so many women have picked it up without realizing it, and what it takes to walk away from it, so that your speech, your character, and your witness as a woman of God are all saying the same thing. For most women, this started before they were old enough to make a single conscious decision. The home you grew up in was your first classroom, and it taught you more than you realize. Children do not choose their first words. They repeat what they hear. I was told that before I was even 2 years old, I could string together a full set of curse words, not because I was a misbehaved child, because that is what was in my environment. My family stopped using that language around me, not because of a rule, but because they saw me repeating it. They recognized that what was coming out of my mouth was a direct reflection of what was happening inside of our home, and they connected it. The home is either the place where good speech is modeled or the place where destructive speech is planted. A responsible parent sees the problem and corrects it while the child is still young enough to be redirected. My grandmother did that. She carried years of resentment toward my grandfather. And before she took that pain to God in prayer, it was coming out in her words. My older cousin and I were both in her care at the time. We heard it and we repeated it. The moment she saw it coming out of our mouths, she became convicted. She repented and she shut it down, because she understood that what a child hears consistently is what a child will say. The home is not the only place this gets passed on. For many women, the workplace became the second classroom. When women stepped into male-dominated environments, factories, warehouses, construction sites, rough language was everywhere and nobody addressed it. The longer you are around something, the more normal it becomes. A woman who would never have spoken that way at home starts speaking that way at work. And then it follows her through the door at the end of the day. Some women will say it's just how people talk where I work and it does not mean anything. But language shapes how you think, not just how you sound. When vulgarity becomes your everyday vocabulary, it changes how you handle frustration, conflict, and pressure. You stop reaching for the right words and you start grabbing the easy ones. And the easy ones almost always carry something bitter underneath them. Here is what ties all of this together, ladies. The Bible says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. What comes out of your mouth is connected to what is living inside of you. Bitterness does not always look like anger. Sometimes it looks like a sharp tongue. Sometimes it looks like a woman who has been hurt, overlooked, or worn down, and the only language she has left for that pain is profanity. That was my grandmother before she surrendered it to God. The resentment she carried toward my grandfather had a voice, and it came out in her words until she brought it to the Lord and let him deal with it. That is when everything changed in her speech, in our home, and in what my cousin and I were growing up hearing. Your words are a window into what you are carrying on the inside. Where you came from shape your language. But the moment you decide, your speech will reflect your values and not your wounds. That is when the real changes began. And that change is worth every bit of the work it takes to get there. If this video spoke to you, please like it, share it, leave a thoughtful comment below about your struggle with this matter or how you managed to break the habit of using profanity. Let's go deeper in this topic and actively seek refinement and growth together. Links to related videos are in the description. I'm Deborah, and this is Family Still Matters. And because family still matters, the words we speak inside our homes, to our children, and over our own lives, they matter too. Thank you again, and may God continue to richly bless you. Let no corrupt word proceed out of your mouth, but what is good for necessary edification, that it may impart grace to the hearers. That is Ephesians 4:29. God bless.